The sound of the South. Lou Hannan. BBC Radio Solent.
4:23 now, as we all know, COVID-19 has led to the closure of so many theatres around the country, including the Nuffield Theatres in Southampton. Well, Jake Baranova, a film and theatre maker from the city, was working at the Nuffield Theatre when it went into administration, and the closure led him to lose his job and home, and now he lives with his grandfather John. Well, with his grandfather's help and his loft, Jake has now created a brand new podcast called Up in the Loft to keep his creative juices flowing. We're going to meet Jake in just a second, but here's a flavour of what you can expect from the podcast.
Hello and welcome to Up in the Loft, the show that bridges the gap between young and old with riveting and deep thought conversation, underlined by many musical delights whilst we also get a little bit drunk. I'm your host, Jake Baranov.
It's Jake.
And sat opposite me is a man who's 84 years old, is as fit as a fiddle, and I happen to call him Grandpa. It's my Grandpa.
It's Grandpa.
Hello, Grandpa. How are you?
That was lovely. What an intro.
How are you?
Worthy of a champion. I am well.
Good. And over in the tone zone, making all of that racket already, is Andy Colville, otherwise known as the Cola Caparico.
It's the Cola Caparico.
Yes, Andy is here to underline and underscore this show with many musical delights, whether it be something jazzy or something a little bit ominous, or something just downright stupid. Let's take a look and see what's coming up on today's show. We chat to Stuntman to the Stars and Britain's Got Talent semi-finalist Matt Sterling. Andy tells us how he remembers every movie.
Each hair is a film.
And Grandpa gives us one of his old cinema tales.
And suddenly found myself going stiff.
Jake Baranov there with his grandfather, who've produced that podcast Up in the Loft. Jake joins me this afternoon. Afternoon, Jake. I'm quaking in my boots listening to that. You're very, very good.
Hello, thank you very much.
How is that, hearing it on the radio, your podcast?
I'm not going to lie, I did just shed a little bit of a tear. That was quite something.
Oh, bless you. This has been quite I'm going to use the word journey. I hate the word journey, but it's been quite an experience and a turbulent time that you've gone through. But you've just turned it around a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously everything that went down with the Nuffield was awful, and we all saw it coming, unfortunately.
Yeah.
There was just something that really left me feeling unsettled about having to just retrain and go and get a new job or do something, and my creative juices have all been stopped. And I've been doing this for nearly 10 years now, on and off at the Nuffield Theatre and working in film and doing other things. And to suddenly just have all vessel of creativity taken from you when that's all you know really hurts. And it's been painful to watch a lot of friends and family on Facebook in the same industry that are suffering right now, because it's not just about it being your job. It's every birthday and event that you missed growing up because you're at rehearsals, or every late night that you had because you were in tech weeks and stuff. And when you become a part of that lifestyle, you really thrive off of it, and it hits you when it's gone. And so I just couldn't not do something. And my grandpa is of an actor himself in pantomime, local pantomime, and I just thought it was the perfect opportunity to pull something together and do something with him and do something really different that no one's heard before.
It's a fantastic idea, and I could totally get where you're coming from with how the industry is at the moment. I used to work in theatre many moons ago and have lots of friends in the industry, and it's heartbreaking, as you say, just sort of seeing what they're doing and what they're saying on social media about the plight of what is their life, really. It's, stuff that they've trained for absolutely years, and I know you're no different. Had you had the idea to do the podcast before? Has it sort of been mulling over and you thought now's the opportunity?
I've always loved radio and the idea of it. Well, back when I was actually at college, I did a very silly internet radio show with a friend, and we ended up getting a few thousand listeners. It was just something we were sharing around friends, and we were asked to do more and more. And then it just kind of dipped off as we got older. But I've always had a passion for wanting to do it. And then, in fact, in the last few years, I was going to. And then just because theatre was so intensive in working, I never got time to do it. And now is the best time of all. And unfortunately, I'm obviously not making an income, but my grandfather has been so supportive and amazing on this whole journey that I've been through, and his own journey in this lockdown experience himself. And it just felt like the right thing to do.
I'd bet he's enjoying it as well, though, isn't it? It's given him a new lease of life.
He is such a well and fit man. He's 84. He still cycles everywhere. I went cycling with him not long ago, and we both got our smartwatches, and his average heart rate's better than mine. He's so fit and loving life. He does a Rotary a parish magazine. He sings in the choir. He's active. He was once Wickham Local Man of the Year in 2017 or so. He strives and thrives off of life, and he himself has had a difficult year losing his loved one to vascular dementia earlier this year.
Dear.
And in fact, it actually happened the exact day that I was to move in with him.
Oh,
and it just felt like a breath of life for both of us, where we were just at this point where we just felt like everything's gone wrong. And we've really helped each other, and he is an inspiration to me and so many people that know him. He thrives and strives for life like you've never seen anyone at that age before, and he makes me not afraid to get that old one day, because he's just wonderful, and I can't wait for the world and everyone to hear more of him.
Oh, what a lovely thing to say. We must be so proud listening to you and what you've gone through as well. It's definitely more than a podcast. How many have you recorded now then?
So we've done 5 pilot episodes already, but we've had to make some major changes and do some other bits and bobs and work out the format. And we've created one delicious package that we're really happy with at the moment. And we're just bubbling things up and waiting to see what happens and where it goes. We've got big aspirations and ambitions with this, and we chat to some amazing celebrities and people that I've met over my career, that I'm very lucky to have had interactions with, and using just a bit of everything that I've ever done in my life is all coming together to create this show.
I'm so glad you've got an outlet for that creativity, and I know with podcasts it's hard going to start with, but if you keep getting those episodes out and you get that recognition, then it could start generating a bit of an income. And you know what, much as you want to live in the loft, you might not have to for much longer.
Hopefully not, but I mean, the thing is, when you love doing something so much, you just keep going at it. I've spent so much time with my partner in this, Andy Colville, who's the musician that you've heard. Both of our creativity together, as we spent a lot of time on this. It's been months now that we've really crafted and refined exactly what this show is.
I think Andy's probably got a future in making jingles. They were amazing, some of those
honestly,
in there.
The man, I've lived with him. The man does not stop making music. He lives and breathes it. It could be 4:00 in the morning and I hear him making little tunes from his phone, and his passion and love for it is exactly why we're doing this as well, because he just wants to keep creating things, and he underscores the whole show. So we do it live, but he also, in the edit, we go back over things and score over extra bits, because it's meant to be delicious for your ears. You're meant to enjoy it, and obviously it's visual as well if you want to watch it. But Andy's taken a lot of time making so many beautiful little delights underneath all of our talking.
It's really, really well produced. I can tell the standard is so extremely high. So it's called Up in the Loft. If people want to have a listen, are you available on all podcast providers?
Not at the moment. We're still very much behind closed doors, but we have social medias to follow. So if you search for Up in the Loft on Instagram or on Twitter or anything like that, you can find us there at the moment. But very soon, very soon. Yeah,
it will be very soon. Jake, keep in touch. Let us know how it goes, and I think it's going to get big.
Thank you. I hope so. Thank you.
Good to talk to you. Jake Baranoff, then, creator of the Up in the Loft podcast, theatre maker as well, talking about his experience at the Nuffields. If you just search on social media then for Up in the Loft, and you'll be able to download it there.
BBC Radio Solent